Benjamin. I am making a video for the first time in months. Yes, we sort of fell out of the habit, but we should get back into it because it's awesome and you have cool opinions that I want to hear about through YouTube because I talk to you about your opinions often. Nonetheless, my hair is longer than the last time we made videos, and that's about all that's changed. So, I've decided to make my video today about the protests that are going on, spurred by Occupy Wall Street. So we have Occupy Toronto here, there's Occupy Sydney, and they're all across the globe. Okay, now I was going to redo that last bit, but I kept not saying it right, and I'm going to just move on because I'm an underachiever. So, the reasons for the protest are, first of all, we right now have way too much corporate influence in the government, which is any corporate influence in the government. A democratic government is supposed to be one run by the people, and right now it's only being run by the richest 1% of the people through things like lobbying and paying off politicians and really lots of underhanded, awful, should be illegal but aren't things. And the thing is, they're staying not illegal because the government is run by corporations. So it's really just a very bad cycle. Other things that we're worrying about are transparency in government affairs, which is another thing that should just be a basic part of a democracy, and strategies on global warming, which we really need, because that is a thing we should deal with. These are all incredibly reasonable demands, and if anything, things that we shouldn't have to demand because they should just be, you know, things that are expected from our government. Unfortunately, they aren't, so we have to protest and try and get them. Now, we have a right to free speech, and we have a right to peaceful protest, whoever we are and whatever our views are. Now, something that bothers me is that this is being viewed as sort of a left-wing hippie fest. Now, whereas I could be labeled as a left-wing hippie, so I'm probably biased, I don't think this is a partisan issue. This is a call for democratic legitimacy, which I don't see that being labeled left or right. I just see that as something that we shouldn't have to ask for. Now, what's really worrying about this whole situation is the police reaction to it. Pretty much everywhere, but especially in New York, which is where the protest started, the police are reacting horribly. Now, these protests are entirely peaceful. The goal is an occupation, not a riot. But police have been physically assaulting and harming and detaining peaceful protesters who are merely exercising their right to free speech and peaceful protest. Now, this is something that's freaking me out a lot because this, I know I keep saying it, is a movement that shouldn't have to be a movement. This is the people asking for their government to listen to them in a government that is based on the government listening to people. The term civil servant, it means you are a servant of the people and you shouldn't be listening to anyone else. But the thing is, we're in a situation where we are asking for things that we are given basic rights to, and when we ask for those things, we are being assaulted by our own police force, which is controlled by the government. So in asking to be given the basic rights that we are given as democratic citizens, our own government is basically telling us that that's not going to happen without a fight. And the thing is, our government shouldn't be controlling us to get its own way because our government and us shouldn't be different. The whole point of a democratic government, I am shaking the camera for dramatic effect, but it's not working. The whole point of a democratic government is that there is no line between them and the people, and they are a representative of the people's will, and if the people don't want to be overshadowed by the voices of the richest 1%, they shouldn't be, and they shouldn't have to go to prison for that, they shouldn't have to breathe in tear gas for that, and they shouldn't even have to protest for that. I, for one, am very hopeful for the Occupy Wall Street movement, and I really want us to get something done with it. I do want to keep this going because hopefully we can get another video made within the next 5 months. So, your goal for the week is to talk about something you find interesting.